Hi everyone, it's Rebecca from The Healthy Gut, and I'm here to talk to you today all around how you can get the best out of your HYPOXI sessions. So before I delve too much into the session, I want to check that you can hear me loud and clear. So if you're tuning in live, just pop in the comments and let me know that you can hear me okay. And I'm just going to check my phone and make sure that I can see myself too. Let's just see it's working. There's nothing worse than going live and then people can't hear you for whatever reason. Let's see if that's coming through. Oh, I've got my ears in, that's why I can't hear my phone. Check my phone. Yep, there we go. I can see myself too. Okay, great. I could hear myself. So today we're going to be talking all around how you can get the absolute best out of your HYPOXI sessions. So it's great that HYPOXI studios are now open again all across the country. Hooray! And you can get back in and start working on your body shaping, fat reduction and cellulite reduction goals. I, for one, am so excited that I can get back into my local HYPOXI studio and keep working on my body and getting it to its best shape it can be. I was doing my HYPOXI 3 times a week prior to lockdown, and I have really missed it. So tell me, if you're watching, what have you missed the most about lockdown and not being able to get into your local HYPOXI studio? I've just missed seeing the girls, and I really found that HYPOXI just really helped my legs. I've got pretty bad circulation in my legs, and I really felt a huge difference in how my circulation felt, and the quality of my skin just felt so much better as well. Not to mention the centimetre reduction I was experiencing and just the assistance with the weight loss. So there's a really great formula to follow when it comes to getting the most out of your HYPOXI sessions. Now, I put an image up on the Facebook event, so I hope that you can see that, and I might be able to, let's just see if I can put one in. I'm going to try and add this. We'll just see what happens. Okay, so as you can see, hopefully you can see it, I have added in, how you can get the best out of your HYPOXI sessions. So there's a really easy formula to follow, guys. So before you go in and do your HYPOXI session, it's best to be in a fasting state. Now, I personally love doing HYPOXI first thing in the morning. So I've had my dinner and then I don't eat again until after my HYPOXI session. And the reason I like to do it like that is because I'm in true fat burning mode with my body. So it's ready and primed to burn fat when I get into the machine. But if you're doing it later in the day, or if you need to eat, make sure that you've got at least an hour, ideally 2, before of no food before you go into your HYPOXI session. And that's the reason for that is that we want the body to be primed and ready to go for fat burning rather than in food consumption mode. Now you go and do your HYPOXI session, so you jump into the L250 or the S120. You do your workout you ride this bike in the machine for half an hour, and then you come out. Now, it's really important that you drink a lot of water. So we want you to have a good 1.5 to 2 litres of water during the day of a HYPOXI session. And that's because we want to really help flush all of the toxins and hydrate the body so it's, again, in a good state so that you are ready to release the fat that your body has been storing, and which is why you're doing HYPOXI. So immediately after your HYPOXI session, you do not want to eat any food, because if you eat anything, you're just putting your body in a state where it's focusing on burning the fuel that you have consumed rather than the fuel you've been storing in your body in the form of fat cells. So you've got a 2-hour window of no food, just water. And then after that, you've got another 2 to 4 hours where you want to have a very low carbohydrate nutritional intake. Now, you might be wondering, what does that mean exactly? So we want you to pick foods that have 10 grams of carbs or less per 100 grams of food. Now, you can find information like this in free platforms like MyFitnessPal, and many food and calorie counting apps will often give you that kind of macro nutritional content. So you don't want to have high carbohydrate foods. So things like bread, pasta, rice, sugar, they're all very high in carbohydrates. You might be wondering, why should I be avoiding my carbohydrates? Why do I need to have a lower carb meal? Now, there's some basic science around it. So when we eat carbohydrates like pasta, bread, sugar, we get a big insulin spike. So insulin's job is to help regulate our blood sugar. Now, there are some foods that give us a smaller insulin spike, so lower carbohydrate foods. And then there are foods that give us a huge insulin spike, like sugar, bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, etc. And our bodies love to live in nice homeostasis. They like to be within a very even keel. And when we have this kind of sugar, which is what it converts to in the blood, the body releases insulin. A big dump of insulin hits our blood sugar, and its job is to bring it down. Now, when we have this big jump of insulin, our body can't burn the fat it already has stored because it's too busy dealing with the carbohydrates and the sugars that you've just consumed. And what happens when we have a high carbohydrate diet over a long period of time, which is a pretty standard Australian diet, is the body gets quite fatigued. So it just keeps storing all of that into fat cells, and it's saying, I'll come back to you later. I'll put you over to the side and I'll deal with you later. But later never comes, and that's why we end up with fat stored on our body and cellulite. So we want to give our body the best opportunity to burn the fat it already has, which is why we want a very low carbohydrate meal as that breaking of the fast after our hypoxia session. So that's so we have 1 to 2 hours before hypoxia, no food. Hypoxia session, and then we go into a 2-hour fasting window, no food, just water. And then we have another 2 to 4 hours after that where we have a very low carbohydrate meal. And once you've got through that 6-hour window, that's when you can go back to your regular healthy diet. And we do recommend that you have a low carbohydrate diet while you're going through your hypoxia sessions so that you're not undoing all the great work that you have done. So you might like to look up keto or low carb, high fat or low carbohydrate recipes. There are heaps that you can find online. Pinterest is a great place. The hypoxi.com.au website is also a great place to get low carb meals, as is my website, thehealthygut.com, where you can get a heap of free recipes to help you with your meal planning. Now, what are some other key tips that can really help maximize your results when you're doing hypoxia? One of the most important things, guys, is sleep. Our body really needs a good amount of sleep every day in order for it to release fat, get rid of the toxins that are often held into that fat in the fat cells, and heal the body. When the body is carrying a lot of weight and a lot of fat, it is an unhealthy body. So if we don't give it the opportunity to sleep, repair, and replenish itself, how are we expecting it to lose that weight that we don't want to carry anymore? So a good 8 hours sleep every night is absolutely fundamental. Now, if you're a long way from that, and if you're someone like me who's a bit of a night owl and sometimes struggles at getting more than 6 to 7 hours sleep a night, it can be hard to get there all at the start. So try and get to bed 15 minutes early each night, and then slowly you can build up to that 8-hour window of sleep. Another key factor, guys, when it comes to maximizing your hypoxia results is about stress. Stress gives us insulin spikes. It's very inflammatory in the body, and you can actually see people gaining a lot of weight. Some people lose it, but you can also gain a lot of weight when there's a lot of stress in your life. So if you're recognizing that stress is part of the picture, look at what you can do to help combat that. Can you make some changes to reduce the stress? Or are there some activities that you can do to help reduce the amount of stress you're feeling? Getting out and moving your body is great, so a gentle walk can be really good, but I will touch on what to do with exercise and hypoxia in just a moment. Meditation is fantastic. That is known to help really reduce stress and reduce blood pressure. And simple deep breathing can work well. Now, if you're someone like me that struggles to calm the mind and to get into a meditative state, get your phone, download one of the many free meditation apps. There's some great meditation podcasts, and you can do a guided meditation. Now, in terms of other nutritional things to be mindful of, two key substances that many people love but are very detrimental to your hypoxia journey ultimately are caffeine and alcohol. And the reason for this is that they both spike our insulin and they can actually raise our blood sugar levels. So on a hypoxia day, particularly in that window between before and then the 6 hours after, avoid alcohol and caffeine. Now, if you're someone that just can't live without alcohol or caffeine, you might like to do it on a non-hypoxia day just to help really improve the benefits. And maybe have a look at why are you so addicted to alcohol and caffeine. It might be a great opportunity for you to challenge yourself at breaking one or both of those habits. Perhaps you'd like to set yourself a 30-day goal where you give up caffeine and alcohol with the intention. You might like to try and reintroduce them afterwards, but why not give yourself the best opportunity to do really well with your hypoxia sessions and get the best results at transforming your body, reducing that fat and your cellulite while you're doing your hypoxia 3 times a week. And then exercise. So we get asked a lot about what exercise should you do in conjunction with hypoxia. Now, you might have seen the gorgeous Sarah who won the hypoxia 8-week transformation last year in 2019, and she lost an incredible 8.4 kilos and 74 centimeters off her frame. She just transformed her body. And we asked Sarah, what did you do in addition to hypoxia and the hypoxia way of eating? And her answer was nothing. She's a busy mum of 3 young kids, and she literally did not have time to do anything other than her hypoxia sessions 3 times a week. So you don't have to exercise in conjunction with hypoxia. And in fact, we recommend that you don't do any exercise on your hypoxia day. The reason for this is we want your body to stay in its fat burning mode after a hypoxia session to get the best results at reshaping your body. If you are someone that just loves exercise and you really want to do it, put your hypoxia days into your calendar, and then you can schedule some other exercise on a non-hypoxia day. So let's say you do hypoxia on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Then you might like to do exercise on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, for instance. But you do not need to do exercise to get the best results with hypoxia. And we've got so many gorgeous women that have achieved incredible results just by doing hypoxia alone. Now, a final thing before I finish up the live, and if you do have any questions, please let me know in the comments, is that when you come into hypoxia at the moment, we do have some new requirements for you, and that is really to be compliant with this COVID-19 world that we all live in now. So we ask that you wear a long sleeve top and long pants when you come in to do your hypoxia sessions. But we do recommend that you wear a loose fitting pant. So something like a loose yoga pant is ideal versus a tight legging like skins. And this is because we want the blood flow to be able to be as kind of free as possible when we're in the hypoxia machine. And wearing a very tight legging constricts the skin and the leg. And we do see that people don't get as good a result. They still get results, but not as good a result as when they wear a loose fitting pant. So just a final tip, guys, just to remember to wear a long sleeve top. This would be far too warm for a hypoxia machine, but a long sleeve top and then a long pant in this current COVID-19 world. So there you have it, guys. I'm Rebecca Coomes from The Healthy Gut, just sharing our top tips on nutrition and lifestyle and how you can get the best out of your hypoxia sessions now that the whole country is back open. And if you're interested in coming in and trialing hypoxia, please head to the website hypoxi.com.au and you can see the listing of all our studios. We do ask that you book in to your local studio for sessions rather than just turning up because we need to kind of abide by our COVID-19 regulations. But do call your studio. They're so excited to be open again and they're really looking forward to supporting you to achieve your fat loss and cellulite reduction body shaping goals. So I'm Rebecca from The Healthy Gut here bringing information to you as part of our Hypoxia at Home program. And I look forward to bringing some more really cool stuff to you in the coming weeks. Bye, everyone.